Have you ever looked in the mirror, felt a little more tired than usual, noticed your ankles seemed slightly swollen, or found yourself waking up more often during the night to use the bathroom and simply thought, well, I guess that's just part of getting older? What if those small changes weren't just signs of aging? For many adults over 60, kidney problems don't begin with severe pain or dramatic symptoms. In fact, the kidneys can gradually lose function for months or even years without causing obvious discomfort. That's why they're often called silent organs. By the time noticeable symptoms appear, significant damage may already have occurred. The good news is that our bodies often give us subtle clues long before a serious problem develops. Knowing what to watch for doesn't mean you should panic. It means you can recognize when it's time to pay closer attention and seek medical advice if needed. Today we're going to explore 7 silent warning signs that your kidneys may be struggling after the age of 60. Some of these signs might surprise you because they don't seem connected to the kidneys at all. And make sure you stay until the end, because the final warning sign is one that many older adults mistake for a completely different health issue. Your kidneys work around the clock every single day. They filter waste from your blood, help balance fluids, regulate minerals like sodium and potassium, support healthy blood pressure, and even help your body produce red blood cells. That's an incredible amount of responsibility for 2 organs that are each only about the size of your fist. As we age, it's normal for kidney function to decline slightly, but conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, obesity, smoking, and even some commonly used medications can speed up that decline. According to major kidney health organizations, millions of adults have chronic kidney disease, and many don't realize it because the early stages often cause few or no symptoms. That's why awareness matters. These warning signs don't automatically mean you have kidney disease. Many can also be caused by other health conditions. But when they appear, especially if they persist or occur together, they're worth discussing with your healthcare provider. Let's begin with the first warning sign. The first silent warning sign is persistent fatigue that doesn't seem to improve with rest. We've all experienced days when we're tired. Maybe you didn't sleep well, stayed busy around the house, or spent extra time with the grandchildren. Usually a good night's sleep helps. But imagine this. You wake up after 8 hours in bed and still feel drained. Walking to the mailbox leaves you unusually tired. Grocery shopping feels like a much bigger task than it used to. Even activities you enjoy begin to feel exhausting. Why can kidney problems cause this? Healthy kidneys do more than remove waste. They also produce a hormone called erythropoietin. Think of this hormone as a messenger that tells your bone marrow to make red blood cells. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout your body. If your kidneys aren't working as well as they should, they may produce less of this hormone. Over time, that can contribute to anemia, which means your body has fewer healthy red blood cells to deliver oxygen. Less oxygen reaching your muscles and organs can leave you feeling weak, tired, and short of energy. There's another reason fatigue may develop. When the kidneys don't filter waste efficiently, waste products can build up in the bloodstream. That buildup may contribute to feeling generally unwell, mentally foggy, or unusually exhausted. Imagine your home's air filter. If it's clean, air flows freely. But when it becomes clogged, everything has to work harder. Your kidneys act like the body's filtration system. When that system becomes less efficient, your whole body can feel the effects. Of course, fatigue has many possible causes. It could be related to poor sleep, thyroid problems, depression, nutritional deficiencies, heart disease, or simply recovering from an illness. That's why fatigue alone isn't enough to diagnose a kidney problem. But if your tiredness lasts for weeks, feels different from your usual energy level, or is accompanied by other symptoms we'll discuss today, it's important not to brush it off as just getting older. A simple conversation with your healthcare provider and routine blood and urine tests can often provide valuable information about how well your kidneys are functioning. And speaking of urine, the next warning sign is something many people notice but rarely connect to kidney health. It's easy to dismiss, yet it can sometimes provide one of the earliest clues that your kidneys need attention. The second silent warning sign is changes in your urination habits. Most of us don't spend much time thinking about our bathroom routine until something changes. Perhaps you've started getting up 3 or 4 times every night to urinate when you used to sleep through the night. Maybe you're producing much more urine than before, or perhaps much less. You may notice that your urine looks unusually foamy, darker than normal, or contains a small amount of blood. These changes don't always point to kidney disease. Drinking more fluids, taking certain medications, urinary tract infections, or, in men, an enlarged prostate can all affect urination. But the kidneys play such a central role in producing urine that changes are worth paying attention to. Let's start with nighttime urination. Many older adults assume frequent nighttime bathroom trips are simply part of aging. While getting up once during the night can be common, repeated trips that become more frequent over time deserve attention, especially if they're a new change. Healthy kidneys carefully regulate how much water stays in your body and how much leaves through urine. When kidney function changes, this balance can also change, leading to differences in how often you urinate. Another clue is foamy urine. Imagine pouring soda into a glass. The bubbles disappear after a few moments, but if your urine repeatedly appears unusually foamy or frothy, it may sometimes suggest that protein is leaking into the urine. Normally, healthy kidneys keep important proteins in your bloodstream. If the kidney's tiny filtering units become damaged, some protein can pass into the urine instead. Doctors call this proteinuria, which simply means protein in the urine. It's something that can often be detected with a simple urine test. Changes in urine color can also matter. Very dark urine, red or brown urine, or visible blood should always be evaluated promptly. Blood in the urine can have several causes, including infections, kidney stones, or other urinary tract conditions. While not every cause is serious, it's important not to ignore it. One helpful habit is to pay attention to your normal pattern. You don't need to become overly worried about every small change, but if you notice persistent differences lasting several days or weeks, make a note of them. Your observations can help your healthcare provider decide whether further testing is needed. The encouraging news is that many kidney conditions can be detected through simple blood work and urine testing, often before more serious complications develop. So far, we've talked about fatigue and changes in urination, two signs that many people overlook. But the next warning sign often shows up where you might least expect it, and it's one of the most common clues that your body may be holding onto more fluid than it should. One of the reasons kidney problems can be so difficult to recognize is that the symptoms often appear slowly. You may not notice them from one day to the next. Instead, they develop over weeks or months, making them easy to dismiss as part of normal aging. That's why paying attention to several small changes together can be much more helpful than focusing on just one symptom. Now let's move to the third warning sign. The third silent warning sign is swelling in your feet, ankles, legs, or even around your eyes. Have you ever taken off your socks at the end of the day and noticed deep marks around your ankles? Maybe your shoes suddenly feel tighter than they used to. Or perhaps you've looked in the mirror one morning and wondered why your eyelids seem puffier than usual. Many people assume swelling is simply caused by standing too long or getting older. While that can sometimes be true, persistent swelling can also be a sign that your kidneys aren't removing excess fluid as effectively as they should. Think of your kidneys as your body's natural water management system. Every day they carefully decide how much water and salt to keep and how much to remove through urine. When they aren't filtering properly, extra fluid may stay in your body instead of leaving it. That extra fluid has to go somewhere. Because of gravity, it often collects in the feet, ankles, and lower legs, especially after you've been sitting or standing for a while. Some people first notice they can't wear their favorite shoes comfortably anymore. Others find that rings become tighter on their fingers, or that their watch feels unusually snug. In some cases, swelling around the eyes is most noticeable first thing in the morning and improves later in the day. There's another reason swelling can occur in kidney disease. Earlier, we talked about protein leaking into the urine. Protein helps keep fluid inside your blood vessels. When too much protein is lost, fluid can leak into surrounding tissues, causing puffiness and swelling. It's important to remember that swollen ankles don't automatically mean kidney disease. Heart problems, liver disease, certain medications, poor circulation, and even long periods of sitting can all lead to swelling. However, if swelling is new, continues to get worse, appears in both legs, or comes with fatigue, changes in urination, or shortness of breath, it's important to contact your healthcare provider rather than simply assuming it's part of aging. One practical tip is to pay attention to patterns. Does the swelling disappear after a night's sleep, or is it present every day? Has it gradually become more noticeable? Small observations like these can provide valuable clues during a medical evaluation. And while we're talking about changes you can actually see, the next warning sign is one that many people never associate with kidney health at all. In fact, it often sends people to a dermatologist first, even though the real cause may be happening inside the body. The fourth silent warning sign is persistent itchy skin. Most of us experience dry skin from time to time, especially during colder months. Usually, a good moisturizer solves the problem, but imagine your skin feels itchy almost every day. You scratch your arms, your back, or your legs, yet you don't see much of a rash. You've changed soaps and lotions, but nothing seems to help. What could your kidneys have to do with your skin? Healthy kidneys remove waste products and help keep important minerals such as calcium and phosphorus in balance. When kidney function declines, waste products and mineral imbalances can affect different parts of the body, including the skin. Scientists are still learning exactly why itching occurs in chronic kidney disease, but it's thought to involve a combination of factors, including dry skin, changes in the immune system, and the buildup of certain substances that healthy kidneys normally help regulate. The itching may be mild at first. Over time, though, it can become frustrating enough to interfere with sleep or make it difficult to relax. Imagine trying to enjoy an evening with your family or watch your favorite television program while constantly feeling the need to scratch. That persistent discomfort can affect both physical and emotional well-being. Of course, itchy skin has many possible causes. Allergies, eczema, dry air, new medications, or liver conditions can all play a role. But when itching is persistent, doesn't improve with basic skincare, and occurs alongside other symptoms we've discussed, it deserves medical attention. In the meantime, there are simple habits that may help protect your skin. Staying well hydrated, using fragrance-free moisturizers, avoiding very hot showers, and choosing gentle soaps can reduce dryness. Still, these measures don't replace medical evaluation if symptoms continue. This is a good reminder that our bodies work as one connected system. A problem in one organ can sometimes appear in a completely different part of the body. We have now covered fatigue, changes in urination, swelling, and itchy skin. Each one alone can have many causes, but together they create a picture that's worth paying attention to. The next warning sign may be the most surprising so far, because many people think it's simply a normal part of getting older. In reality, it can sometimes reflect changes happening deep inside the bod. Many people expect kidney problems to cause pain in the lower back or severe discomfort, but the truth is, most chronic kidney conditions develop quietly. Instead of causing obvious pain, they often affect systems throughout the body in subtle ways. That's what makes this next warning sign so easy to overlook. The fifth silent warning sign is muscle cramps, an unusual muscle weakness. Have you ever been fast asleep when a sudden cramp in your calf jolted you awake? Or maybe you've noticed that climbing stairs feels harder than it did a year ago. Perhaps carrying grocery bags or getting up from your favorite chair now takes more effort than you expected. While occasional muscle cramps are common and often harmless, frequent or persistent cramps, especially when they happen alongside other symptoms, may deserve a closer look. So, what do your kidneys have to do with your muscles? Your kidneys help keep the right balance of important minerals called electrolytes. These include potassium, calcium, sodium, and magnesium. Think of electrolytes as tiny messengers that help your nerves and muscles communicate with each other. When these minerals are balanced, your muscles contract and relax smoothly. But if the balance is disrupted, muscles may cramp, twitch, or feel weaker than usual. As kidney function declines, it can become harder for the body to maintain these healthy levels. That's one reason some people with kidney disease experience muscle cramps, especially in the legs, feet, or hands. Another factor is fluid balance. If your body is holding on to too much fluid, or in some situations, losing too much through medications or illness, it can also affect how your muscles function. Imagine trying to run a machine with the wrong amount of oil or fuel. Even if the machine itself is in good condition, it won't perform as smoothly. Your muscles rely on the right balance of fluids and minerals to work properly every day. It's important to remember that muscle cramps have many possible causes. Dehydration, overexertion, certain medications, poor circulation, vitamin deficiencies, and nerve problems can all play a role. That's why muscle cramps alone don't mean you have kidney disease. But if you've started experiencing frequent cramps along with fatigue, swelling, or changes in urination, it's worth mentioning these symptoms during your next medical appointment. There are also practical steps you can take to support healthy muscles. Staying physically active with gentle exercises like walking or light strength training, drinking enough fluids unless your doctor has advised otherwise, and eating a balanced diet rich in nutrients can all help maintain muscle health as you age. However, it's important not to start potassium or magnesium supplements on your own. While these minerals are essential, too much can actually be harmful, especially for people with reduced kidney function. Your healthcare provider can determine whether supplements are appropriate based on your blood tests. We've now covered 5 warning signs, and you may have noticed a common theme. None of these symptoms automatically point to kidney disease, but together, they can provide valuable clues that something may need attention. Now let's move to the 6th warning sign, one that many people blame on poor sleep, stress, or simply getting older. Yet it can sometimes be linked to changes in your body's ability to filter waste effectively. The 6th silent warning sign is difficulty concentrating and persistent brain fog. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Or struggled to follow a conversation that would normally be easy to understand? Maybe you found yourself reading the same page twice because it just doesn't seem to sink in. Everyone forgets things occasionally. That's completely normal, but if mental fog becomes more frequent or starts interfering with daily life, it's worth paying attention. Your brain depends on a healthy supply of oxygen, nutrients, and clean, well-filtered blood to function at its best. When the kidneys aren't working efficiently, waste products that should be removed can gradually build up in the bloodstream. Researchers believe this buildup, along with related issues such as anemia or poor sleep, may contribute to problems with concentration, memory, and clear thinking in some people with chronic kidney disease. Imagine trying to look through a window that's slowly becoming covered with dust. The view is still there, but it's not as sharp as it used to be. That's similar to how some people describe brain fog. Their thinking isn't gone, it just feels slower or less clear. Of course, brain fog has many possible causes: poor sleep, certain medications, thyroid disorders, depression, anxiety, vitamin deficiencies, and other medical conditions can all affect memory and concentration. The important message is this: don't simply assume that persistent mental changes are just old age. If you or a loved one notices increasing confusion, ongoing memory problems, or difficulty performing everyday tasks, it's important to discuss these changes with a healthcare professional. Identifying the underlying cause early can make a meaningful difference. We've now reached 6 of the 7 warning signs, but the final one may be the easiest to dismiss because many people don't realize it could be connected to their kidneys at all. In the next and final section, we'll reveal that last silent warning sign, discuss simple habits that can help protect your kidneys, explain when it's important to seek medical care, and recap the key lessons from today's video so you can feel informed and empowered about your health.